welcome to the Capital Discussions SPY Put Diagonal Weekly Review. I'm Tom Nunemaker with Dan Harvey. Before we get started, just want to make sure everyone knows that if you're a gold member or a mentoring student or you're a subscriber to any alert service, you can get a discount on the SPY Put Diagonal. So gold members get a 10% discount, mentoring students and any other trade alert service except the road trip get a 25% discount, and road trip subscribers get a 50%. And the easy way to get that discount is you go to resources and my special discounts, and it'll calculate which one you're eligible for and offer you the best discount. You can't combine them so that you get the highest one. So in this case, we got a test user, my wife, who's got access to a trade alert service, so she would get 25%, and it shows you all the normal prices and the discounted price, and then you just click on a subscribe link to pick the one you want, and off you go. So with that, that's how you get the discounts. Remember, just go to resources and my special discounts. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to Dan. So just hang on a second. Okay, Dan's sharing his spreadsheet, and I'll give you a quick update on what's happening with the SPY Put Diagonal trade.
Right, and I think that the discount that Tom mentioned, I think that's a really good deal for this particular trade, which will be attractive to some and, to others may not like it. There are some people who just really don't like time spreads of any kind. I really don't like calendars. I mean, I really don't like calendars. But diagonals are different. So anyway, without further ado, so just to refresh, this is the first one that I did since we started the trial service. So that one obviously did well in 2 days. Now this one would have done well if I had held it until Friday, which I will talk about in just a second. So these numbers for this one, the 238.5 and the back leg, the 234, those were live numbers. The way that I'm showing them here, they were live at the close on Friday. Now you'll notice that I had rolled the short leg. I had rolled up 6 of the contracts for delta control, make a little more premium, and give the trade a little bit longer to work. So the point that I'm illustrating here is that when you do have to hold these trades longer, which I really don't like to do, for example, this one up here, again, was closed in 2 days, but they don't all work like that, obviously. So when you have to hold them a little longer, you'll note that the front leg bleeds out premium much faster than the back leg. Obviously, this was the May 12th, which expired on Friday, and this is the 16th of June, which doesn't expire until June the 16th. So it's going to hold its value, and that's actually one of the premises of the trade. So I was watching this on Friday just for fun, even though I had closed it on Thursday, which I'll show in a second. And I noticed that it actually made a maximum of $209 on Friday, which is not a bad return, really. That would have been roughly 4% for roughly 10 days. That isn't bad, I don't think. No. For 4,900 of margin. It started out with less, but when I did the roll, that increased the margin. Now, what I actually did on Thursday, and this was on the text alert, I closed this one out at 35 cents, and I closed the back leg at $1.61. So these are real numbers. This is, my money. I'm not making this up. This is real money. So I actually only made about 89. So now we may have some of our trial subscribers that may have chosen to hold it longer. And for anybody who did that, you netted out a good return. So that sort of begs the question, why did I do this? Well, because the time that I did this, the market was actually dropping fairly quickly. And I just sort of figured a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush and that sort of thing. So I decided to take the profit that I had. There's absolutely nothing wrong, though, with, holding on right until the day of expiration. Now, you must close the front leg, by the close of expiration. You must do that because this is not actually settled, until Monday. So something bad could happen. And so you want to close this before the closing bell. You don't want to take any chances on this.
Yeah, it could be a bad surprise on Monday if something happened over the weekend.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, having said that, there would have been nothing wrong with actually watching this very closely on Friday, and you would have had a very nice return for roughly 10 days sitting in the trade. So I do not have one open at the time being because I'm waiting for the price of the next back leg that I'm looking at. I'm waiting for that to come down a bit, which will probably not happen until we have an update next week. So once I get it launched, I will issue a post on that. And once we actually begin the paid service, I will begin to teach the way that I set this up, the way that I monitor the prices, the way that I choose the legs, basically my entire decision-making process, and I'm sure Tom will weigh in on this as well. And we'll begin that once we start the paid service.
And I think this will be the last week of the free trial, so we're probably going to go live sometime at the later half of the week. The trade's looking good, Dan. 2 for 2. Pulled the little profits better than a loss, so good job on trade number 2.
Well, yeah, and I think, like I said, if those, for anybody who would have, let's just see, for example, what this might have been here. Let's see if I put in $1. Oh, that's not going to figure it out. I'd have to go in and put in some arbitrary prices to see what the yield would have been at say $190 or something. But it would have been, it would have been a good return. And for a low risk trade, that's the other point on this, because as you know, we have the one cancels the other type of order in place, which will take you out of the front leg should the market drop below the strike of the front leg. It's going to take you out of that one. And but alternatively, then if you had a sudden profit, whatever you set up as your limit price for the predetermined profit, then it would take you out at that price and would cancel the other half of the order. So I always will set these up right after I'm filled. This is another thing that I will teach on Thinkorswim for those who don't know how to do that, and Tom will teach it on IB.
Yeah, I love the kind of set and forget aspect of the trade. You don't completely forget it, but having those one cancels all orders in is really nice, and they work great.
Right, they do. Well, particularly on something liquid like SPY. If you have something that is not, you wouldn't want to do this on, say, Tesla or something. But, for SPY, they work great. You will be filled.
Yep. All right, Dan, anything else before we wrap it up?
I think we're done, buddy.
All right, so everyone have a great week trading. Again, if you're a gold member, have done mentoring or subscribed to any trade alert service, go to that discount page and you can get the service for a discounted price. I'll be putting up the regular page. It has all the regular prices soon. So you can still get the regular price, obviously, if you don't have any of those qualifiers for the discounts. But if you do, take advantage of it. And like I said, we'll go live probably later this week. So thanks, Dan. Looking forward to this paid service, and hope everybody enjoys it. And have a great weekend.
Well, thanks a lot, Tom, and glad you're doing well. And I also hope everybody has a good weekend, and we'll see what Mr. Market will have in store for us next week.
Yep. All right. See you, everyone.